Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing a movie of which Alex Garland's Annihilation owes a great debt. The highly acclaimed Russian film Stalker by cinematic master Andrei Tarkovsky. Off the back of his highly successful film The Mirror in 1975, Russian filmmaker Andrei Tarkovsky approached his fifth movie in 1979, which was based on a short novel by the title of Roadside Picnic, written by brothers Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. It was a philosophical science fiction novel that ended up being banned in Soviet Russia for as long as 8 years, due to its, quote, graphic coarseness, vulgarity, and immoral behaviours. I myself am yet to read the book, so unfortunately cannot confirm or deny whether the reaction was appropriate, but I have been told that the book and the film differ quite significantly. The filming process was nothing short of a complete catastrophe. Shots were later realised to have come out in a greenish colour, rendering the initial process useless, with another attempt ending with the film burning in a fire. The third attempt is the product that we see today, despite the cost of using over 5,000 metres of film reel and the deaths of actor Anatoly Solzhenitsyn, Tarkovsky's wife Larissa, and Andrei Tarkovsky himself, dying prematurely at the age of 54 due to the same cancer his colleagues also died to, of which the poisonous landscapes of the Estonian power plant that they filmed in is likely to have caused. So what's it all about? Well, on the surface, in a miserable sepia-tone landscape, a writer and a scientist hire someone that is known as a stalker to guide them to the mysterious Forbidden Zone, a bright and hauntingly tranquil place of curiosities in which there is a room in the very centre of. Entering this room will grant one's deepest desires. The writer wants to go there because he is lacking creativity and struggling to put pen to paper productively. The scientist wants to go there as he eagerly wishes for a Nobel Prize. But after a long journey with their hired stalker, they find the room and decide against entering, fearing that they themselves don't know what they truly want, and that their selfish desires might not serve a good cause. So they all head home, the stalker being left utterly broken and beside himself due to the lack of belief in the zone shown by the others, as his wife breaks the fourth wall with a rather long-winded monologue before closing with a shot of their handicapped daughter called Monkey, who performs some telekinetic abilities with a jar. Yep, what the hell did any of that mean? Well, it is worth noting that Andrei Tarkovsky went on record of saying, "Everybody asks me what things mean in my films. This is terrible. An artist doesn't have to answer for his meanings. I don't think so deeply about my work. I don't know what my symbols may represent. What matters to me is that they arouse feelings, any feelings you like, based on whatever your inner response might be. If you look for a meaning, you'll miss everything that happens. Thinking during a film interferes with your experience of it. Take a watch into pieces, it doesn't work. Similarly, with a work of art, there's no way it can be analysed without destroying it." So it seemingly means whatever you want it to mean, which I really appreciate about Tarkovsky. But let's try to interpret it anyway, shall we? For me, Stalker is a movie that is saying an awful lot, and quite broadly at times, even having an aspect of political satire against the Soviet Union. But I personally believe the film to be a questioning of faith and belief. At the start of the journey, the stalker shows unfaltering faith in the zone and its capabilities, warning the writer and the scientist at every turn and step, only for nothing to happen, and the scientist and writer regularly scoffing and disobeying to no circumstance. They discuss and debate their wants and desires and what they would do after visiting the room, but it dawns on them that what you think you want and what you really want could be two very different things. A question of faith in your own good nature. They decide against entering despite their own wants, even discussing destroying the room so that nobody bad could ever use it, but again realise that that would stop anyone good from using it too. Who are these three men to make such a decision? So they don't, which definitely feels like a political stab at Soviet Russia and the decisions that they would probably make in this situation. The three men return to their miserable existence of sepia tone and oppression, with the stalker breaking down almost out of loneliness that nobody could possibly understand or see it how he does, how nobody believes him or in the zone. The closing shot of Monkey performing the telekinesis on the jar at the end, I believe to suggest a few things. One, that perhaps this is the stalker's reward from the zone, or his wife's perhaps, considering stalkers are forbidden from entering the room. Or it could simply be a confirmation to the audience that the zone really was capable of such miracles. I also see religious aspects to this scene, with Monkey showing a godly ability or evolution and growth if you will. I see it as hope bearing fruit for the future to come, but it could easily be seen as a negative. It's beautifully vague. I've even heard some suggestion that this scene serves as a dig or warning towards Soviet Russia in some sort of conspiracy precursor to the Chernobyl incident that didn't occur until 7 years after this film's release. It is quite easy to see religious connotations throughout the film, with the Stalker acting almost like a disciple of the Zone with such belief, despite his inability to prove it. And of course the rather iconic shot of Anatoly Solzhenitsyn wearing the crown of thorns. Tarkovsky might say he doesn't know what his symbolism means, but come on. I find the correlation between the narrative Stalker is proposing and Tarkovsky's tireless endeavour of making the film quite fascinating. He ironically persevered with something that seemed doomed because, well, he believed in it. And he was right to, because Stalker is deemed a true masterpiece in every regard. The very craft of the film is utterly jaw-dropping, and a real ode to what a master Tarkovsky truly was. I'm going to give Stalker an 11 out of 10, making it the latest inductee in the IMO Hall of Fame.